Who are you?
That's what I want to know sometimes. I have no idea. It depends on day to day. Sometimes I'm Flip Wilson, sometimes I'm Chris Rock. Who knows?
You are Kid Dino?
Oh, he's going that route. I didn't even know that. He's got me all discombobulated here in the lovely Vancouver, BC. I could be Tiger Woods at times. There's a golf course not far away from here, so I could be that guy too.
You are Jimmie Walker, Kid Dynamite.
Is that who I am this week? Oh, heck darn it. Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, happy fish and chips.
Jimmie Walker, Kid Dynamite, is that trademarked, Kid Dynamite?
At times it is, at times it's not. It's varying. It's like lubrication. It goes up and down.
Jimmie Walker, JJ, do you have Total Recall still?
No, not at all. I think kind of the beginning stages of remedial Alzheimer's is taking place here.
But can you take us back? Way back. Please, Jimmie Walker, can you take us back,
look
please?
At this guy! Oh my goodness gracious! Now this is a shock. Everywhere I go, somebody has an album, but never an interviewer, never anybody that's that much on the case. My man Nardwuar is on the case here with the old Jimmie JJ Dynamite album, which has some good. This is actually a very good album. I hate to admit it, but it still holds up to today. It's very good. I love this. I have a new album, but this is better than the new album. This is really very good.
I was wondering, though, take us back to the beginning, from the beginning, Bronx there, Jimmie JJ.
Oh, yikes. He's done some research, yes. I started in the Bronx many hundreds of years ago and worked in Harlem, New York at a theater called the Apollo Theater, and then worked with the group called The Last Poets. And then after I worked with The Last Poets, I went to the Improv, and after the Improv, I did a TV show, and here this album is a result of that. And from the TV show, here we are all the way in Burnaby, BC. That's how far it's gotten me in 35 years.
Let's get back. Were you in Snow White?
Snow White. No. I was one of the dwarfs, and I was the black dwarf called Darky.
The Last Poets. Let's not skip over them. The Last Poets. They're damn cool there, Jimmie Walker.
They're very tough. They're very tough. They may not be for this audience. They're a little rough for this crowd.
You opened for the Black Poets.
The Last Poets.
The Black Poets.
The Black and the Last. They were the last black poets, but they were the black poets who were last. And yes, I did open for them for about 4 years in Harlem, New York.
Jimmie Walker, JJ, the Black Panthers. Were you the official comedian of the Black Panthers? What's going on there?
I was the official comedian for the Black Panthers for about 2 years. The official comedian for the Black Panthers in the East, ladies and gentlemen. And I used to always think, because they would always bring guns to these cultural meetings, if the guy didn't like me, he was standing by watching the door, he could just pick up his gun and go, done.
How did you get that gig, though, JJ?
I got that gig from being with the Last Poets. The Last Poets were a very kind of militant group, so we used to do a lot of benefits. And the guy who was the head of that, a guy called H. Rap Brown, you should be our official comedian. So I was the official comedian.
Do you have a CAA rap at all?
A CAA rap? No, they don't want to talk to me at CAA. Oh, heck darn it. CAA is an agency which is a very big...
I meant CIA.
CIA, that's different. That's a different thing. CIA is a whole different story. That's our Central Intelligence Agency, which is kind of an oxymoron in the States, a Central Intelligence Agency, because there's not much of that going on. But go ahead.
Because if you're with the Black Panthers, you have any FBI rap, that type of thing?
I think I do, actually. I am in there. Somebody put me in there. I'm in the cultural thing, and they did do a rap sheet on me. I have a rap sheet at the CIA and the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover, who had just died then, did our whole thing, and he had me, and I was with Fred Hampton, who was the leader of the Black Panthers. So, yes, I do have a CIA rap sheet.
I wanted to ask you there, JJ, Jimmie Walker, about a few other groups and stuff. This gentleman
what is this?
Blowfly.
I do know Blowfly, actually, and he's a guy that is a pretty low comic. He's lower than Red Fox, actually, and I do know this guy. He's been around for a long time, and he does kind of a X-rated kind of humor. Not for me, thank you.
But he's still around now.
He's still around, definitely. This guy knows everybody. I put my album out, which is much more better. And then Rudy Ray Moore. But yeah, definitely.
Come on, give Blowfly some props. Blowfly Disco? Come on, did it till you're satisfied.
That's enough of Blowfly.
Well, Jimmie Walker, what about this gentleman right here? Do you remember the racetrack, Richard Stanfield?
Oh my goodness gracious! How does this guy? Is this Willie Tyler? Oh, who is it?
Richard Stanfield. This is ventriloquist.
Oh, yes, I do know this
record called The Racetrack, showing records here to Jimmie Walker.
Yes, my heck darn it, Dotto Records, or Do-Dot Records, or whatever. Yeah, I do know this guy a little bit, but not that well. He's riding a young lady here. This is a little crazy. I don't know if the kids are ready for this kind of stuff, but yeah.
I wanted to show you this, JJ, because there's a whole tradition of black comedians, etc. And this guy, the Baroness Bobo, like...
Oh, goodness gracious. No, I don't know this guy, and I don't think I want to know this guy.
But you remember Laugh Records, don't
Yes,
you?
I do remember Laugh Records. I almost had a deal with them, matter of fact. Almost had a deal with Laugh Records, but then they were a little too dirty for me.
But this is your whole thing, isn't it? A lot of blacks are underground, aren't they?
Yes,
These people
they
are not household names, and they should
They
be.
are not household names. Even roaches don't know who these guys are. My goodness, these guys are really underground. I have no idea who this guy is.
Baroness Bobo. So what do you think about stuff like that being regulated, to the back burner? Well, these guys stick around.
Billy Crystal, ladies and gentlemen, you look marvelous. I love Billy. Billy's a good guy. I worked with Billy when he was with the Crystal twins or the Crystal brothers. Billy's a good guy, and I like him.
How about this gentleman over here there, JJ? Jimmie Walker. I gotta ask you about the old school standards there. Jimmie Walker, JJ.
You look marvelous, baby. Yeah, Sammy, my man. I did the Sammy Davis Jr. show. He's one of the best guys in the world. Loved him, great entertainer. He could do everything. Impressions, singing, dancing. Sammy Davis. Boy, oh boy, you don't mess with my man. He's got every album in the world.
Please tell me a bit about him now. Sammy, a little Sammy story. Come on, JJ.
Sammy had a thing about women. He loved women, and he loved what we would call, sometimes people would say, having more than one. You know what I'm saying? So he was notorious for that.
And you also worked with their JJ. This is your life there, JJ, Jimmie Walker. Little Richard.
Little Richard. Shut up! Little Richard I worked with on the show called Busting Loose, and we did a
Busting Loose. Let's go back a second here, JJ.
Busting Loose. Little Richard came on 3 or 4 times. He was a semi-regular, could not remember a line, and whenever he would scribble a line, he'd go, "Shut up!" That's all he'd say. Shut up! And that's it. Yeah. So he's very good. I love Little Richard. He's great. And he used to live at the Hyde House, which we call the Ride House in Los Angeles on Sunset Boulevard. So I love Little Richard. He's all right.
Now, Pam Kerr told me about a story of going to Wilt Chamberlain's house or being invited to Wilt's house for a party.
Yikes.
Now, JJ.
Oh!
JJ, did you go to Wilt's house for any party?
Oh, we went over a couple of times just to play volleyball. That's all. We didn't always use a net, but that's another story.
Baboom! Come on, tell me about the orgies. You love sex. You love sex, don't you?
No, I have nothing to do with it. I'm an innocent camper. Little Richard, shut up!
Come on there, JJ. Come on, a bit of story. A bit of story.
I have nothing to say about Wilt Chamberlain's house.
Okay, how about wild orgies, parties, sex, on the set, good times, Thelma?
No, I have nothing to say. I take the Fifth Amendment, or I take the parliamentary amendment of silencio.
Jimmie Walker, are we on the basketball court or are we on the hockey rink right now?
Sometimes we could be on a basketball court, and right now I think we're skating on thin ice.
Are guns bad?
Guns in our Constitution are very good. That's right. We need guns. Everybody needs a gun to protect yourself from the other guy who's got a gun.
How about in Canada?
Canada, they don't use guns in Canada. They just kind of get a beaver tail and whack you over the head or something over here, or maybe in a big icicle pop.
Do you pack your heat at the border when you come across?
Well, when I was in Detroit, which is actually true, I got pulled over and arrested in Detroit for not having a gun.
No!
Yes, you must have a gun when you go to Detroit. You must be packing at all times.
Are you a Democrat or anti-fascist, JJ?
I'm more of a fascist. I'm more of a fascist by nature, and people call me Jimmie the Fascist or Jimmie the Nazi, some people call me. That's actually true.
Anything else you'd like to add to the people out there at all there? Jimmie Walker, JJ in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. How you doing?
I want to say that this guy has done a marvelous job keeping up. He may look wacky and zany, but the man knows what he's talking about. He's got some info. He's packing a very different interview from somebody who's done over 20,000 interviews, probably the most different interview we've ever done.
Well, thank you very much there, JJ. Appreciate the props. I was curious there, JJ. Finally, Jimmie Walker. Do you still love watermelons?
Oh, my goodness. I feel guilty about eating watermelons because I'm afraid people are going to take a picture of me, put me on the front cover of the Vancouver Sun and say, "Summer's here." You never know. You don't want that to happen.
Baboom!
Yes. So I'm done like a Thanksgiving goose, man. I'm out of here.
Well, thanks so much, Jimmie. Doot doodaloot doo.
Doot doot.